Central Tibetan Administration's Department of Home's agricultural section has been encouraging the Tibetan farmers living in Tibetan agricultural settlements in India to practice farming and increase their produce for a self-reliant livelihood and to sustain the settlements. To speak on the importance of this project, I have Dhondup Tsering, the head of agriculture section from CTA's Department of Home. Tashdile Dhondupla, it's really nice to have you here on Tibet TV. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Dhondupla, firstly, can you introduce to our viewers as to how many Tibetan agricultural-based settlements are there in India, Nepal and Bhutan, and how many of them were initially involved in farming, and how many of them are still actively engaged in farming?
First and foremost, Tashdile to all the viewers of the Tibet TV. So thanks for giving me this opportunity. Department of Home, CTA, is looking for social economic welfare across Tibetan settlement in India, Nepal and Bhutan. So there's the 12 major agriculture-based settlement in India and 3 minor agriculture-based in India. So in Nepal, they may have around 4 agriculture-based settlements. In Bhutan, they may be scattered 7 agriculture-based settlements. Most of the populations are living in these 12 agriculture major-based settlements in India. Home Department is particularly initiating a lot of projects, encouraging the farmers, to motivate the farmers. In the very initial stage, at the time of the inception of the Tibetan settlements in India in early 60s, that times majority of the populations are directly engaged in agriculture activities because these are the mainstream for the economic livelihoods for the Tibetan settlers in the settlements. But this has been gone for last 60 to 80s in mid 80s. So then the trend has been a little bit shifted, because whatever the land allocated to the Tibetans refugees that in India was constant. So population has been increased, and also because of that reason that the economically viability is not that much sufficient to only rely on the agriculture activities. So many of the settlers, they divert other opportunity looking for their livelihoods.
So that is the reason why there was a decline in this profession.
Yeah, it is true. It's a decline because of that. There are so many factors that there. Doing agriculture is not so that easy as we are all thinking, because this is very challenging. Because when we see one seeds in the soil, it depends on many factors. We have to see on the soil fertilities. We have to see the climate conditions, which are not in our controls, which is our beyond control, because we have to rely on so many natural factors. So right now, based on our recent data, usually we can call that it's around more than 47 of populations of these actual Tibetan populations relying on these agriculture's activities. So since last 2 to 3 years, we will notice that there may be a slightly increase in populations who have been actively engaged in farming.
So Dhondupla, why do you think that it is important for the Tibetan farmers to engage in farming in the Tibetan agricultural settlements?
As we are all aware that it's long-term visions of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. When we came to exile in 1959, he requested the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's Prime Minister of India to getting a separate Tibetan Rehabilitation Center in the India. Because of his request to the government of India, so all the Tibetans have been settled in the one locations. But thing is that these settlements are very essential to be sustained and to become the self-reliance in the Tibetan settlements, because this is not for only for the livelihoods, but also for our preservation of identity and cultures and language.
So in order to encourage and motivate the Tibetan farmers to continue with their profession, to continue with farming, what measures are being taken by the Central Tibetan Administration?
In 1996, because majority of the populations, maybe at that time is 60 to 70% rely on the agricultures. the Department of Home feel that they required a separate divisions to look after these activities. So in 1996, under the Department of Home, Agriculture Division was formulated. Its main responsibility is look after the entire activities and programs, projects related to the activities. Since then, we have undertaken a lot of initiatives to encourage, motivate the farmers to continue farming activity in the settlements. I will just highlight the major initiative we so far did. The first one is that in year, we are mobilizing the fund to different agriculture projects based on priorities. Maybe in per year is around 20 to 30 million rupees in a year. That is already implemented in the different settlements per year. Secondly, we have recently in 2019, we have developed customized PADMA application ICT apps. This is only means to provide a comprehensive digital information on farming activities, how to we grow the crop in a systematic way and how to make up productions. We are giving agricultural loan to the progressive and the active farmers who want to develop their own farmland. This loan has two types of loan. One is for without interest loan, one is for the low interest loan. So these are the particularly giving to the active and progressive farmers to develop their farmland. For per year, we are around giving around 20 millions to 30 millions per year for this giving. This is a revolving loans actually. Every year we are getting back. Also, we have to encourage this continuation of the farming in the settlements. For that reasons, in 2019, we formulated one policy or guidelines to provide the Farmers Achievement Awards within the settlements. This is only the way, as the platform to provide as a recognition to the farmers who are keenly and determined doing the farmings. We will giving this award in our democracy day in the 2nd September every year. So they will be giving the one sort of a cash award of the 1 lakh per receiving of the awards and the citation and certificate prize for that. That is something we have developed in terms of that young farmers, they will encourage and recognize on the farmings, and there will more youngsters will come off to inspire to do the farming continues.
So Dhondup, speaking about the app like you have already mentioned, can you tell us more about the PADMA app? How does it generate support to the farmers who are in need of information and help regarding farming? And how many of them are using the app?
So PADMA apps we have developed in 2019 is the customized app, because as you are aware that today's world are digitalized worlds, so many of the farmers informations we have to provide through the digitalizations. So the thing is that this is a comprehensive informations digital based app to provide the information to the farmers, especially progressive farmers, on their specific crop, how to grow the crop, how to maintain it. All the package of practice will be given through these apps. So this app will be held by our agriculture extension officers. They also actively participate to using this app to engage in all the farmers to provide the information on time. Another thing is that in case there's some problems in terms of the pest and disease control, then we have to invite the external expertise, like we have a KVK, Krishi Kendra Vitlayas, which is the central government-based agriculture extension centers. And some of the scientists are there, some of the universities are there, some of the freelance experts are there. We all engage on that. And so through that, we are just thinking that this app will be right now in a year, phase-wise, we have right now around 2,500 acreage data has been already uploaded in the apps. Around 400 farmers are there. Actively right now, this around 200 to 300 farmers who are actively participated in these apps.
So Dhondup, initially when the Tibetans, they came to exile and they got settled here, they were given agricultural land so that they can generate their own income and have their own livelihood in the place where they are staying. So Initially, most of the Tibetan farmers, they were not much aware about growing their crops in a systematic way and about organic farming. They used chemicals and fertilizers, which in turn declined the fertility of the soil. Now you have this agricultural extension officers who are trained to educate the farmers. So how do the extension officers help increase the trend in farming in the Tibetan settlements?
In the 1999 to 98, so agriculture extension officer was we have deployed, giving the providing training to them. So this is the only reason that, as earlier told you, that the key role of the agriculture extension officer is to look after the agriculture activity, and especially to provide the trainings and awareness information to the farmers. Since then, this AU has been deployed in the respective settlements. Our farmers got a lot of help to how to grow the systematic way of the croppings. Through that methodologies and through their initiatives and through their trainings, then actually production also increased, and farmer also got the benefit out of this agriculture extension service, what we have deployed for the agriculture extension officer in the respective settlements. So because of that reason, that we can come to know that to having the agriculture extension officer give a lot of positive impact in terms of the progressive farmers and active farmers to get their awareness on the how to grow the cropping systematically in their respective field.
So in 2002, Samdang Rinpoche had proposed a policy which was called the Organic Farming Policy, and that was adopted by the Central Tibetan administration. Can you tell us the challenges and the issues that was experienced by the agricultural department into sustaining this policy? What is the present status of organic farming in the Tibetan settlements, and what can be a way forward to continue with this sustenance in future?
Given the priorities to the agriculture settlement should be sustained in long run, so this only the viable option is that go on organic. So organic here adopted the organic policy in 2002, but in the real implementation started in 2005. So at that time, so a lot of the trainings, motivations, awareness programs started. We are growing a lot of organic crop in the different settlements. From 2005 to 2010 to 12, around more than 20 to 21% of the overall agriculture cultivable land has been converted into organic. At that time, what happens? Our city has provided the initial 3 years input subsidized those who are farmers who are initiative in the organic farmings. So we cannot afford this subsidies for the long run. So they have some earmark. So that's why after the reduce the 3 years subsidies, then farmer gradually withdrawn from the organic farmings. The main reason is that they are not able to get the sufficient productions through organic as compared to chemical. So whatever that they produce, they are not able to market it to the organic buyers. At that time in India, at that time is around 2001, 2002, 2003, and then emerging the organics, not that much developed. So reason for that, they are not able to sell their produce, they get the premium price for their organic products. So many of them has been withdrawn, voluntarily withdrawn, but still there are some few farmers who are very determined and committed to organics. We have around more than 150 families with around 300 farmers, 300 acreage of the farmings who are doing organic farmings. For that, we are continuing, we are providing the organic certifications provided to whatever they produce, they will get the certified. If they're sold in outside, they will get the premium price. But how right now, most of them, they are taking as their own consumptions. If the surplus comes, they will sell within the local markets. It's a long-run viable solutions to sustain the agriculture settlement in the India. As compared to 2005 and 2000 now, a lot of health consciousness is coming up in the India. So many people are looking for the organic products. So there's a demand is there. So how to produce that, we have to do in a very systematic way with a proper strategic plan. Definitely, this is I think way forward solutions if you do and focus, not only for the city, but also the farmers, all the levels who have to cooperate and participate.
So, Dhondup, you must be aware of the new bill passed by the Indian government, which is called the New Farm Bill 2020, that has angered the Indian farmers, and they are always on the streets protesting against this bill. So, Dhondup, you have been in this agricultural section for many years now and have been in direct contact with the Tibetan farmers. So, how are the Tibetan farmers reacting to this bill? And will this bill in any way affect the Tibetan farmers?
As compared, definitely we don't have that large holdings farming community like Punjab, Haryana and others Indian citizens like. We have the small holding farmers. But even in those farmers who are actively engaged in this, who have business model, definitely they are welcome on this stage. So anyhow, if they have some, or directly they can engage with some buyers, and they will sell their product directly without any intervention of this channel. In my view, this bill is a progressive stage to benefit to the larger community of the Tibet, even than the Indians, because why Tibetan also get the benefit under the aegis of these farming communities, because we are also settled in India.
So, Dhondup, thank you so much for giving us more information about the agricultural section in the Tibetan community. And I really hope that all the Tibetan farmers who are watching this interview, they will get more information and they will be more aware of the opportunities provided by the Central Tibetan Administration's agricultural section. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you very much for the Tibettv for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next episode of In Conversation with Tibet TV.